All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do root well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. And Tawadi Habashim Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, it's time for sis to get dismissed. And I pretty much am doing a response, all right, to a video that two elders have done, the elder from Baltimore, as well as the elder from South Carolina. And, immediately when I watched it, I immediately wanted to do a lesson on it. All right, I'm getting ready for camp, but I just want to touch on this interaction between this Israelite camp. I'm not too sure who they are, and this lost soul. Okay, yet again, Eve strikes again. Okay, this lost Eve woman, this Jake woman, sticking up and fighting for white Eurocentric Christianity. Okay, and one thing that I notice with a lot of these camps when it comes to Jake and their counterpart is they always give her a pass. Sis, come here, sis. Sis, come here. Sis, I got to talk to you. It's just always, she always gets a pass. You know, when it comes to the Israelite man, it's loops, it's hoops, it's swoops. You know, it's everything and then some for the Israelite man to prove himself. But when it comes to the Israelite woman, she just immediately gets a pass. And then when she opens her mouth, you see why you have to try the spirit. Okay, so I just wanted to give that introduction before I go into this lesson. So let me make sure the audio is good, and I want you to watch this with me if you haven't watched it already. Okay, so let me make sure. So lessons or videos like these, you watch certain things and you can't even get through it because you're so ready to do a response or speak on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. All right. So as you see right here, I watched both of them. I didn't watch it all the way through. All right. But, we could read spirits. Okay. Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash blessed us with the ability to read spirits. So it says, what's worse than a black Christian? And I got to click. It says a black Christian for white Jesus. Right. Just like even that demon Kevin Gates, he said, what's worse than a nigga? Another nigga. And that's true. They call it black fatigue. And then here's the severe syndrome of black Christians and black Americans. Okay. Now, what I want to do with this lesson is I want to emphasize how Jake is always calling her sister. Okay. All the time. Whenever Eve walks up, it's come here, sis. Come here, sis. But we go by what Yahushai said is a brother or a sister. So I'm gonna let this play. Okay, this demonic Discord play, and we're gonna break this down real quick. I gotta head to camp. Check this out though. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, yeah, let me get that fair use up in there. All right, let me see.
Sister, why are you looking like that?
Sister, why are you looking? Sister. She's just this is random. Look, I'm going to keep saying this, okay? The very first FBI undercover female agent was a sister, okay? The very first Israelite woman, okay? The very first undercover female FBI agent was a sister, was a Judite woman. If I was the FBI, you said that's what you do. Send undercover black women, and they can infiltrate these T-shirt camps. Let's let this play again. Sister.
Sister, why are you looking like that?
Why are you looking in disgust, sister? These brothers out here talking in love.
If you're going to have pictures of what America depicts as Jesus on here with temple doors on it, what is it really about? Is it about the glorification of?
It's about truth. See, I'm watching it and I'm already responding in my head. It's about truth's sake. Let me get that real quick. That's why I'm gonna break this. I'm gonna break this down real fast. Okay, and that's the problem. Jake has a spirit where he's still letting that woman dominate him. When you watch this whole interaction, all she does is dominate the conversation. And then she woos the two lost souls next to her. And then those Jakes start sticking up for her. There's just 2/3. John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It's about truth. It's about truth. That's what I would have told her. It's about truth. Okay? Let's keep going. Take them beads out your hair.
Yourself and our skin tone, or was it about the glorification?
And don't be talking about skin tone while you're wearing somebody else's hair on your head. Let's really start addressing the elephants in the room. You're not an authority. Yahweh Shemel Shai gave us the authority. Okay, I get people may come up to inquire, but you don't come up and dictate or the tempo of what we're doing here. All right, and Jake has a demonically soft spot for Eve, and Eve has a demonic soft spot for Esau. That is a bad combination. Okay, that's like putting raisins in potato salad. It's just not supposed to work. It don't work. Okay, this is Mark 13:34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey who left his house and gave authority to his servants. We have authority. Okay, the black woman doesn't have authority over us anymore, brothers. She doesn't have authority over truth. She doesn't have authority over the gospel. She doesn't have authority over breakdowns. And to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Okay, so we're in a time where it's time for sis to get dismissed. This ain't a sister. All right, this ain't a sister.
Because deep down, it shouldn't matter. The picture over here, there's nothing universalist about this, which is all that Jesus stands for. This is nothing but division.
She said universal. Where did universal in the scriptures? Where does that? This says about being holy. This is about being set apart. It says when you go amongst the nations, do not as the heathen do. Okay? You gotta snap at her ass, man. You gotta be quick, Jake.
Give me that kind of. Give me that.
And then she said you want to cherry pick. Look, if those were the readers we had, we'd have a long discussion after camp. This is you gotta be you out in that line, you better be ready. You know, Isaiah 28:10. You talk about cherry pick right here. For precept must be upon precept. And then you get the one where it says through precepts I get understanding. Next. Precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. Is that what you call cherry picking? Well, what you just said is false. And now you're speaking, you're an anti. See, Jake is too quick to try to bring in sis instead of vetting sis. Then you find out through trying sis that she's not a sister. Very plain. It's very simple.
I can't.
Remember, brothers, we don't let the box us in. What Jamie Foxx saying, booty, jab back, jab back.
I can't have it to divide, man. Say again?
You still
No, listen, man. I understand. You said a lot of stuff. I was trying to let you finish. Are you finished, or do you want me to address?
We don't let people that are given the sacrifice of fools finish.
Are you done?
go.
Are you finished?
Are you going to go? Like,
I'm going. I already have the floor. I'm here. This image, right? If it did not matter, wouldn't impact you so much if it did or did not have devil horns on it. If it did not matter. If it did not matter, it would not matter that I did this to this image.
so if somebody had a depiction of Jesus,
Uh-huh.
looks like me and you, with devil horns on it, and was stepping on it, would you not feel differently?
No, I would. You know why? Because one of the first commandments is not one of the first two out of the first three commandments is to not make any image, right, of any of the things that are in heaven or in the earth. I wouldn't look
What are
like
you trying to
I got the revelation.
it's the Bible.
Right, but we can cherry pick. So what are you about to
It's not cherry picking, ma'am. Listen, I really don't understand. I really don't understand your point
Are
of
you going to read?
of stopping.
This is not universalism. This is not.
The Bible is not about universalism. Give me Deuteronomy 4:6. The Bible is not.
about love.
No, absolutely not. Give me Romans 1 and 13. Give me Romans 9 and 13.
Jesus didn't come here.
Give me Romans 9 and 13. I want to know. No. He said I came not to bring peace, but a sword. That's what the Bible says.
I asked about
Right.
love.
This is a demon. Let me get Luke 12. This is a demon right here. Okay, this is how you spot a demon. Okay, now real quick, it's just on my spirit. Let me just see if the quality in Elder Manat Zakba's video is just a little different. Let me just see.
Oh.
Let me go.
I'm not deserving of his love.
So why do you
Okay,
think you're
let's go
seeking
to
type of
see.
salvation?
Let me go back. I just wanted to see. All right, so go here. Let me get this.
It is a
Now let's look. Okay, you got to just cut them with the precepts. We do. We hide behind the Lord. Okay, Luke 12. You need Yahweh Shem Shai dealing with this banshee, man. You need Yahweh Shem Shai when you're dealing with Satan. Like I always say, you give a woman a pass, you're giving Satan a platform. Luke 12 and 51. Suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. Okay. This is the opposite of universalism. Whatever she got. Okay. And you cut that, you break that down, you tear those strongholds down. So you find out that's not a sister. So we don't have to keep calling every Jake woman sis. You don't even know where she came from. You don't even know if she just left the Control-Alt-Delete clinic. Okay. You don't know if she just left Esau's bed. All right. And she just gets to walk up because she looks so-called black. And you get to say, sis. Hey, a lot of times when I hear Eve speak, I say, is this a tear? Because a lot of Jake women act like Edomites. A lot of Jake women act like the heathen. Okay. When you actually sit back and look at Jake women, majority of them act like heathens. They act like Edomites. The Jake male spirit, you can tell that's an Israelite. Okay. But when it comes to Eve, you got to be like, is this a Shedemite? And then you deal with Esau women and they're cooler than Eve.
Is a sword an instrument of love? Is a sword an instrument of love? That's all I'm asking. Yes or no?
Look at these lost souls.
Do I make love with
Look at this. Look at these lost souls. Lost. Okay. Lost generation. You see that? And then they being lost, all right, having their spiritual nuts taken. The woman could pass it a man. Now this is their elder. Stomach all out, titty meat hanging down below, someone else's hair on her big ass head, forehead 4 inches in front of it. Come on, man. This is a nasty show. What did he say? We look bad as a family unit. Jake looks bad as a family unit under Edomite Christianity. This is what vocab wants you to be in. Okay, take that into consideration, niggas.
do I create love with a sword?
Is punishment a tool that the Lord uses for the people that He loves?
Yes, bitch. I'll answer it. Excuse me. My bad. Yes, I'll answer it. Okay, if they ain't gonna answer it, we're blessed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Kakwadash to yes. Does he punish them with the sword he loves? Yes. Sirach 17. Okay. So I say this to her, Sirach 17, and she's going to think about the Diddy trial. Sirach 17 and right here, 8, verse 18. It's verse 17. For whom in the division of the nations, no universalism, of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. No universalism, sis. Whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline. Look, let's hear it again. Okay, we just answered her question.
That's all I'm asking. Yes or no? Do I make love with? Do I create love with a sword?
Is punishment a tool that the Lord uses for the people that He loves?
Yes, right here. Is punishment a tool that the Lord uses for the people He loves? He nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love does not forsake him. What does it say in Baruch? We were sold into captivity, not for our destruction, but because we moved him to wrath. So yes, sis, air quotes. Okay, I'm going to show you this saying a sister. It's time to let sis get dismissed. Stop giving her ass a pass. Every time you give sis a pass, it's swords, it's knives, it's scorpions, it's venom. Okay, she is not peaceable. Okay, this is a number one enemy within our nation. And then the number one enemy within our nation is defending the number one enemy outside of our nation. You got to let her alone. No, we're good. You got to prove. You have the burden of proof to prove you're not a demon. We don't need to prove shit to you. I could already tell this is a demon. You could read it.
You're not going to answer the questions, are you?
Because
You're not going to. I did answer your question.
Okay, but you still.
I answered your question.
You want to bounce around?
Ma'am, you made a comment about the image here.
See how she doesn't respect you, Israelite men? See how this little funky ass black woman doesn't look at big, beautiful black men as if they're gods, as if they're leaders, as if we're their fathers. Look, 144. Okay. The Israelite woman came from us. The first Israelite woman was created by an Israelite man. Israelite woman would not be here without the act of sex continually with multiple wives if it wasn't for the Israelite man. Okay? That's the spirit we come in. That is truth. And that's what has to be established for when so-called sis comes around talking her bullshit. Okay? She reminds me of the nigga, the traitor from Spartans that sent Leonidas on that mission. And he was left back with the company. You know? He's a traitor, man.
You made a comment about this. You made a comment about universalism. There are multiple points that you made.
When the whole thing is
No, it's
God
not.
so loved the world.
No, it's not. Give me Romans 9.
And then boom, just real quick, look, God so loved the world. We know the world in that word in Greek, it's going to go over her forehead, but the word world in there is cosmos, which means government. Then you precept that with Isaiah 9:6, and it says a government, a son has been given to us. Okay, let me get it. Okay, let me just get it. Okay, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. He was quoting Isaiah 9:6. Let's ask ChatGPT real quick, because I asked him this, but I don't really need none of that. Let's ask this. Was Yahweh Shai quoting Isaiah 9 verse 6 in John 3:16? Let's see what comes up. Damn. 3:16. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Great question. While Yahweh Shai was not quoting Isaiah 9:6 directly in John 3:16, the two verses are deeply connected in meaning. Isaiah 9:6 certainly foreshadows what Yahweh Shai says in John. Boom. So Yahweh Shai is quoting Isaiah 9:6 in John 3:16. Okay? So the connection. Look, unto a son is given. A son is given. Messiah king, peace, peace. Boom. Yes, he is quoting it. All right. You got to check GPT too. So right here. So it says, yes. What was he quoting? He was quoting Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born, us as Israelites, unto us a son is given, and the government, cosmos, John 3:16, world, cosmos, shall be upon his shoulders. Boom. And then from there, we'll cut even further. We'll go here. So when you go into the aspect of the world, sis, what does this mean? John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world. So what world? We know now that the world is talking about Israel, but in her understanding, her Edomite logic, okay, someone took an Edomite brain and put it in her body. Go watch Get Out again. Go watch Get Out again. No. It says, I pray not for the world. And we know us, brothers, we know this world is referring to the world of Israel. But even in that context, we'll use it to cut them when they think about the entire world. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. See? So there's only been a certain amount of Israelites that have been given to Yahweh Shai. Okay? And guess what? It's not only male, but it starts with male, but it's also female. And I'm going to prove that real quick because we do got sisters out there. Okay. We do have very few sisters out there. There's a lot of sisters that are going to be the 1/3, but you got a majority that's going to be 2/3.
9 and 13, bro.
Honey, that's good.
9 and 13. Give me 9 and 13.
You're going to sit here and tell
God loves it.
This is why you got to be on point out there. This is why you got to be, if you're a reader, you better have precepts ready. You're listening to the conversation and your mind should be being inspired by the spirit to have precepts ready for that speaker. When she's saying John 3:16, you got the precepts. Isaiah 9:6, boom, Romans 9:13. You know, you're pulling things out, getting it ready. Because see, they walk up as if you are under the burden of proof. They're not pulling no precepts. They're just quoting. They're just speaking. You have to pull out the precepts to cut that speech. And look, he's already. A lot of you Jakes are just horny. So you side with this demon because you just want to pop. Okay, look, he looking shit. Girl look good. He's like, yeah, shit. She making sense. You seen the nigga. You seen the nigga about to cry because Christine Blue was rapping. Whoever the hell, what the hell is this Babyface Blue? What's that demon? What the hell? Blueface? Whatever his ex was, she was somewhere rapping high and drunk, and then the nigga listened and was like, you fucking make me cry. No, you horny, nigga. A lot of you Jakes are just horny. This is why you want sis to come up and you flirt while teaching her. Come on, man. It's time to lock in. This is about our nation. This is about prophecy.
For God, so
Does God love everyone?
yes, He does.
Okay. Read Romans 9 and 13. It's the Bible.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
He loves
Okay, are you going to speak over the Bible, or are you going to have respect for God's word?
That's right. This is Romans.
She's going to speak over the Bible because there's no light in her. So stop calling her sister. Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, or if they speak over the word, it is because there's no light in them. See, and men love darkness rather than light. And this is the condemnation that light has come in the world, but men and women love darkness rather than light. And this is all darkness. This is darkness.
9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but
look, a nigga gets caught quick. She got him quick. See how quickly she got him? See this little predator? See how quickly this little predator pocket demon got this old Newport drinking nigga smoking? Got him. Look, he like, who should get me too, girl? Got you. Look how quick Eve be getting Jake, man. What it say? She's a man eater. She'll eat you up. She's a man eater. She's a man eater. Don't let her eat you up. She'll eat your ass up. She'll chew you up. Here comes, she's a man eater. And that's what if you watch this video, you can see her teeth. Every time she talks, she just bites. I'm like, yo, this is a pit bull. I wouldn't if I were you. I know what she can do. She's deadly. She's deadly. Hyena alert.
Esau have I hated.
Still talking over the Bible. Listen, man, if you're not going to show, look, you asked me to read the Bible.
And when that time comes and that let comes down, if there's any kind of vessels out here that show this kind of this spirit, oh, you're going to get purged out, man. That's why it says we're going to purge out the rebels. There's nigga women outside of America. Okay, it's a demon. And we're going to purge that out in the wilderness.
Bible, right?
There's going to be a pile of weave next to Eve in the wilderness.
You asked me to read the Bible. I'm reading the Bible. I want you to show me everybody, all people.
Is that what you believe?
What?
That God, so what makes you different from the next person? Why are you so deserving of God's love if He doesn't love you?
I'm not deserving of His love.
So why do you sit here and receive some type of salvation?
Oh my God. I wouldn't let her dictate nothing. Anyways, I got to get ready for camp. He's about to start speaking. Look, the demons in him it's like a demon has got a pull cord in his back and he's just revving him up. Look at him. Every time he's getting ready, his teeth start chattering. Okay, he's ready. A nigga will kill you for Eve, man. And Eve will kill him for Esau. What a terrible trifecta. He'll kill you for her kill you for him out there. Let me show you. This is not a sister. It's time for sis to get dismissed. Stop just saying sis as soon as you see a so-called black woman coming up. The average so-called black woman is not for the truth. She's not for her nation. Gosh dang, man. Golly. Jake, wake up. Damn, wake up. You're on the sideline. You're looking in. Look in with your spirit. Know what head you're thinking with. It's Matthew 12 and 40. Damn, man. Every time a so-called black woman walks up, it's everybody, shh. Hello, sister. What's up with this? What's up with this self-glorified past that Eve gets amongst Jake? Like, let's really call that out. Why does she get a pass? While Yahushai, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. So he's at camp, if you will. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him, and that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Okay, so those that do the will, not just because you're an Israelite and you're walking up, do you now get to be called sister? And you know what? Just because I'm curious, let's just look up the actual, what does sister even mean? Female sibling, a female person in her relationship to other children of the same parent. Sister. I just wanted to see. Okay, sister, daughter, cousin, surviving relic of the root. Sister, wow. Just want to see. Fellow woman without regard to relationship, fellow creature. Woman sharing the human condition. Look. Woman engaged in the same activity as another. Ooh! A female fellow Christian. So you can't be a sister if you're not a woman of our faith. Look, Sister Act. That's a good ass movie. You're not look, black woman. See? So it originally meant a fellow female believer of the same faith. Now it just means black woman. So since 1926, Esau has modified the name sister amongst our nation to allow this B word to keep infiltrating our faith. Okay? Look, fellow feminist. So now sister means a fellow feminist. Oh my gosh. So see, it's time to dismiss sis. If she is not a woman amongst our people that is of the same faith, she does not get the benefits of being called a sister. Just like every brother's not a brother. John 17 and 20. Neither I pray for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. That's our sisters. That's our brothers. That's our mothers. See? Those that believe on Yahweh Shai through the word that we're being inspired to teach. So she cannot be called sister just because she's a black woman. Because the real definition for sister is a female fellow Christian woman of our same faith. So I'll leave it there, man. So, it's time for sis to get dismissed. So I pray this lesson was edifying. I just want to say, call halal, abanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. And if I didn't say, double honors to my elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone that do well. And with that being said, shalom. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect.